wouldn't let them touch Franz's office. Franz Heldman, doctor of medicine, psychiatrist, analyst, healer of the wounds of the mind, a listening ear for other people's secrets. If I hadn't packed the liquor, I'd fix us all a drink, especially me. Who has a cigarette? I often used to pass through the living room when there was a patient in here. I wondered what secrets they shared. Did you ever wonder, Mark, what passed between June and France 3 times a week, an hour at a time?
He helped her. That was enough for me.
No, don't be so sane and literal. I'm not talking about June. I'm talking about me. I begrudge every hour he ever spent with a patient. Could have been my hours with him.
Now, Stephanie, you have a little money. If you're careful, you can get by on it for a year or maybe even 2 years. By that time, you should have found some sort of new life for yourself.
You going to put me on an allowance, Sam? May I have 50 cents a week?
Now, these are the things a lawyer is paid to worry about.
I don't feel financial today, Mark. I feel psychological. I walk in here and I have the feeling that everything that was Franz and me is just dwindling away.
Stephanie, you've got to have a hard sense of reality.
All right.
Now, first things first. Dr. Camber is taking over Franz's practice, so the files will have to be sent over to him.
All right, we'll send the files to Dr. Camber.
Now, Mark will help you clear up all the bills and outstanding debts. Then I want you to come and live with me in June for a while. Now, I've talked it over with June. She wants you with us as much as I do.
I don't think so, Sam. I love you for asking, but I'm not good company these days.
Well, you may change your mind. You'll be welcome anytime.
Thanks, Sam.
Oh, you're having dinner with us tonight, aren't you? So June tells me. Good. See you then. Fine.
Giving everyone a hard time, aren't I?
We all love you very much, Stephanie.
That kind of love, yes. The way you love the leaves turning in the fall, or the innocence of children.
Come on now. We have a very special feeling for you, and you know it.
Do you still, Mark?
Oh, yes, I do.
I was thinking before when we came in, I might have said yes to you instead of Franz. How different everything would be now. How nice for me if you were still waiting now.
I am. I'm waiting to get some work done.
Everything's in the desk. I'll start on the files. Hundreds of lives in little folders. Mark, this is no day for me to try to concentrate. Do me a favor. Let me say goodbye to this house alone. Wait for me in the car.
All right. I'll take the papers with me. Don't make it too long. Goodbyes should be short and clean.
It was 10 days after the Korean War started. Joe had to go back to the base. They were alerted. And then I found out about the baby. And I had to go back to that dingy room in that dingy hotel. I didn't know how to tell him. How do you tell someone? I didn't want that kind of marriage. Finally, I made up my mind to call him. I said, Joe, we're going to have a baby. He didn't say anything. Finally, he said, I'll find a way to get to you, and we'll get married. I wanted him to say he loved me, but he didn't. He just hung up. He got a pass, and he hitched a ride on an Army plane. It crashed. He never came to me.
What happened to the baby?
She was born. I gave her away. I signed the papers, agreeing never to see her again. I hated that baby. And I even hated Joe for dying when I needed him. Now I'm in love with Mark. But I'm not a full woman anymore. When he touches me, I want to run and hide. And sometimes at night, I think, what will he do when he finds out that I don't want any children? I ought to tell him that. I can't. I won't ever tell him that.
Stephanie, are you okay?
Mark, Sam was right. I shouldn't be alone. I'm going to take him up on his invitation.
Good. I'm sure things will work out a lot better this way.
I think so. Oh, Mark. Mark, it's lovely. Stephanie, look.
June, it's beautiful. You really have magnificent taste.
Not me. My father. It was my mother's. Now, this is something old, and I'm in something new.
An heirloom, how nice. Something you'll be able to pass on to your own daughter in time.
Anyone have a cigarette? Can't seem to keep up with my pack lately.
Well, I don't wonder. You've been going at it pretty hot and heavy lately. Tell me, what's the matter? You got wedding nerves?
Well, what do you expect? Getting married's bad enough, but planning for it. And for all the help you and Sam are. Even on Sunday, what on earth does he do locked up in that study all day?
Writing his briefs. He never tells anyone what's going on. When Mother was alive, she never did get used to being shut out of his work.
Ancient culture in a modern world. A man has his own problems. His woman keeps out of them.
My sentiments exactly.
But I think a woman should share her husband's problems.
Well, sometimes that can add up to trouble, June, believe me. Every once in a while, Franz would tell me about one of his cases. And I'd get just as upset about them as he was.
But I thought psychiatrists never discussed their cases.
Oh, he never mentioned names, of course, but when he was deeply concerned, he had to talk to someone. Maybe that was his therapy. There was one case just before he died. Nearly ruined our marriage.
Isn't that carrying work a little too far?
He was that worried. He'd made a serious mistake, and he didn't know what to do.
A mistake?
There was a girl he was treating. The day before her wedding, her fiancé was killed. She had a child by the man. She couldn't get over the shock. She couldn't tell her parents, anyone. She came to Franz finally in a terrible state. She was full of hatred for men. She couldn't stand it if a man so much as touched her. But little by little, Franz began to help her. So much so that she met another man and fell in love. They wanted to marry, and Franz approved. That was his mistake. Because the minute the marriage became something real to her, she began to slip backwards. Then Franz saw something that he'd missed in the first place. His original diagnosis was wrong. He thought the girl was simply neurotic. Day by day, new symptoms began to appear. Symptoms of psychosis. Complete disintegration.
Then why didn't he stop the marriage?
He couldn't. By this time, the girl was so close to cracking, he felt that any change would just push her over the edge.
Couldn't we talk about something a little less grim?
Oh, Oh, well, I didn't mean to upset you.
I'm not upset.
Look, honey, I want to hear about these things. After all, we're going to have kids of our own someday. I don't want them to grow up and be neurotics.
What do you mean by that remark?
Why, just what I said. I want to learn. What do you think I meant?
Nothing.
June! Well, never a dull moment. What did I say wrong?
Nothing. She's just on edge. Nothing a kiss won't cure.
June, honey.
Stop it, stop it.
Look, I just wanted to say I'm sorry if I said anything to upset you.
Well, you don't have to say it with kisses. Kisses don't solve everything.
Now, what is it? You remember me, McGrath, rising young lawyer? Love and law, they're inseparable and insoluble. I rest my case.
Oh, Mark, I don't know what got into me. I'm sorry.
The golden age of television will continue in a moment.
What's holding you two up? Sam's already in the car.
Well, June seems to have lost the pendant I gave her.
I didn't lose it. I'll find it. I said I'd find it.
Not in this room. You could lose a giraffe up here.
Will you wait for me in the car, please?
Mark, this is something you gave her. It's important to her.
I can't make him understand that.
Here it is. I found it.
Where?
In the wastebasket.
In the wastebasket. Brother, how casual can you get?
I was positive I put it in the drawer.
Sure, just walk to the wastebasket by itself.
We'll be right down.
What are you hinting at, Mark? That there's some dark, hidden significance to this?
Honey, I'm not hinting at a thing. But just do me one big favor. After we're married, will you try and get a little organization in your life? So help me, it isn't very hard if you care enough to want to do it.
I'm not going. You go without me.
What?
I want to stay here and look for the giraffe in all this mess.
Now look, June.
I'm not going. Just leave me alone.
Okay, girl, I've had it. Right up to here. You want me to go without you? Okay, I'll go.
Take a minute to calm down. I'll go downstairs and cool them off, and then I'll be right back. Now take this time to relax.
I'm sorry, Sam, you'll have to go on without us. Mark, I need you there. Now, whatever's wrong with you and June, I'm not interfering. You're a big boy. But I need you there tonight.
Sam, go on. We'll work this out here, and one way or another, Mark will be there. Now, please go ahead.
I'd better go back.
Mark, this is no time for a heart-to-heart talk. I love you. I don't want to see you destroy something that's important to you. Let me talk to her. If she wants to come now, I can make it possible for her, okay?
Stephanie, you're such a decent gal. If I weren't going to marry June, I swear I'd ask you to marry me so fast.
That's enough for me. Now go wait in the living room. Is that your wedding dress? I'm not a psychiatrist, June, but I know what I see. And no woman does something like this if she really wants to be married. You've got to tell him, June. You'll destroy yourself and you'll destroy Mark. If you have any feeling for him at all, you won't let him put his head into a trap like this. Tell him. It's the very least you can do.
You better go. It's getting late.
I want to thank you, Stephanie. I don't think I could have gotten through this night without you.
If you're ever off a tree, call on me.
I'm not just being polite.
I know.
The last couple of hours have been the first peaceful ones in a week.
Go home and get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'd like to have a nightcap with you.
Look, Mark, you're confused and you're angry. You don't quite know what you want tonight. I don't want to get involved. I feel too deeply about you.
Well, I don't know, Steph. June's got me so I just don't understand her these days.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Steph.
I'm drunk.
I can see that.
You don't like drinking women, do you?
I don't like you drunk, no.
Well, in a little while, it won't matter what you think.
Well, I think you better go to bed.
That's what I thought you'd think.
Look, June, I'm not going to argue with you when you're drunk.
Oh, I don't want you to argue. I just want you to listen. Because that's why I got drunk. So I'd have the nerve to talk to you. Because it hurts when I'm sober, Mark.
Honey.
Just take your hands off me.
Look, June, now you're tearing me up, too. I love you. Now just get that through your head.
You're just like all the others. You and Joe.
I don't know who Joe is, and I don't care. I just know how I feel.
Just a couple of facts I have to fill you in on. That's all you don't know. Who do you think Stephanie was talking about? Which patient of Dr. Franz Hellman was she talking about? The girl who had the baby and the man who got killed before they got married. Me. You didn't even ask what happened to the baby, did you? You didn't care what happened to the baby. But I cared. It was my baby. I had to give it away. I'll never know where it is. I couldn't even give my baby a name. Somebody else just named it. Baby's gone. Joe's gone. Goodbye, Mark.
Is that what you're afraid I'd find out? That you went through hell and had to go through it alone? Is that it? Don't you understand there are two of us now? I want to make something clear, Dr. Camber. I want to marry June whenever you say she's ready.
Well, there's no point in pushing through to a diagnosis until I know what the facts are. Nurse, haven't you found Miss Dunlap's file yet?
Well, Dr. Camber, I've checked the entire file. It's not here.
I'll go and have a look myself. Will you excuse me a moment?
Mark, of course it isn't there. Of course it isn't.
Oh, where have you two been?
I had a very strange experience. I felt I needed some more help. So I went to see Dr. Camber. But unfortunately, he couldn't give me that help because my file was missing. But I found it again. In your room.
I see. I'll leave as soon as possible.
Not yet, Stephanie. May 23rd, the day before Franz died.
I know what it says, June.
Miss Dunlap has finally broken through to the core of her problem. My judgment was quite right. While the marriage may create some small tension, her love for Mr. McGrath has begun to dissolve her tensions. It is gratifying to see her opening up and finding joy again. It's quite clear and explicit, isn't it, Stephanie? There's no chance of confusion, is there?
I feel very sorry for you, Stephanie.
Don't say anything, Mark, please. It's quite simple. I lose. You two have each other, and I have nothing. But I lose nothing, because I had nothing when I started. A husband dead. Loneliness. That's all I was risking.
The golden age of television will present Afternoon of the Beast, starring Keenan Wynn, after these messages.